All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day slash had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Okay, so first thing I am going to bring out is guys, who the heck could have called that? You're probably very likely going to have buyers try and step in here right at the top of this range, this previous 2-month long range right here, where you also found resistance over here. Who could have guessed that one? Definitely not us. We did not guess that. No, we did not. I'm psych. Okay, psych. All right, so we did end up getting buyers stepping in that range. We did have a 1.5% move to the upside. I am just letting you guys know, I don't think this is over. I think we, unless Google or Microsoft tanks the market, which, looking back, I think last time Microsoft, I think both of them rallied. I remember Google saved the market one time. We can actually come over and pull up these charts. All right, let's actually look at these charts going into earnings, by the way. All right, I know I got a lot of levels. We can just easily declutter this chart going on here. All right, yes. We had, where was the last earnings? You had this go on over here, and you pretty much put in a flag, and you could use that as your flagpole. If you're on extended hours, you would have had that going on right over here as your flagpole. And then, again, who would have guessed you would have broken to the upside? Oh, you got a back test, break and retest? Who would have guessed that would have held? Oh, not here, us here on this channel. We don't use the break and retest setup at all. No, we don't. That's not at all what literally went down over here in SPY here on the monthly and the weekly time frame. All right, guys. So obviously, guys, I am being sarcastic. I am definitely, jokes. But yeah, guys, I do think the bottom was put in today unless Microsoft and Google are going to tank the market. All right. Now, I am just going to say right now, with how QQ is set up, you literally did exactly what we were saying. I yesterday on my live stream, I gave my warnings. I don't even want to call it a warnings. I just said, guys, please don't short down here. Just like kind of wait for the bounce if you want to get short. We did end up getting that bounce. All right. But what happened, guys? We already did undercut that low. Now, you have a bullish divergence over there on QQQ. What do we also have over here on SPY? Now, also keep in mind, you got under the 200 MA and you got rejection today. So we are going to need to reclaim that tomorrow or on Wednesday with a gap up from earnings if this is going to turn into something bullish. I do think this is, at least we got the start of our signal today. We did end up, let me turn off extended hours. I don't use extended hours. I'm just going to let you guys know. All right, we got a signal bar literally within cents off of our level there. Within 18 cents, we had 417.62 was the level we were paying attention to, just so everyone knows where that level is derived from. Over here, it's the high of this candlestick right here. You can see it up here if you are new to TradingView, 417.62. All right, and you come over here to the hourly time frame. We did have that hammer candlestick on the 4-hour time frame. We also do have a large, well, I'm not going to call it a hammer because you do have this, similar upper wick as well. We're looking for a signal candlestick like this. Started to get it over here. All right, as you see, we did have a flush into the end of the day. What I actually will point out right now, though, is you have that going on right there going into tomorrow. And regardless, we did get proof that buyers were going to step up here. Well, that buyers did step up here. So I do think now that we do have that bullish divergence, that is what we said in the live stream and the Sunday. And thank you guys for joining me in the live stream yesterday. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I love you guys. Honestly, guys, you make me happy. Okay, I appreciate the living crap out of it, out of everything you guys do for me. And yeah, I am extremely fond of this community we have here of, yeah, just community, guys. I love you guys. All right, so carrying on here, we did say that we were looking for 2 scenarios going into this week. We're either going to get a pop and a drop because, again, you had all this selling pressure here. I found it extremely hard to believe you were not going to undercut this low here and put in a bullish divergence. If you did undercut the low, you were going to put in that bullish divergence. Now, what I will point out is you had low volume. So I do think the big players are really waiting on the sidelines, which is why I say it's going to be up to Google and Microsoft Tuesday after hours. Tomorrow after hours, we are either going to get a gap down or a gap up. All right. It's extremely likely that we get a gap going into the next day. If it's a gap down, all right, I really do think buyers are just going to step in somewhere over here, and then we are going to, we're going to rally. All right, and then you come over here to SPY, and we are looking for a pop and a drop to undercut that low, or we are looking for exactly what went down today. And now I'm looking for a retest of this 429.88 level right here. Why do I want that 429.88 level right there to be tapped? Well, we said if you come all the way down here, which, you know, guys, look at that foreshadowing we did yesterday in the live stream. You literally came right down to our level here. Yes, you got, what is that, 18 cents off of our level, and you saw buyers just aggressively step in at the open. All right, I made the last buy, guys. Your boy is heavy on the long side. You know, it could be a massive mistake. I've been wrong in the past, all right, but I'll just point this out. I was short last October, and I remember this. I thought I was a genius right here, and then you got that, and I was like, oh, I was completely wrong. All right, I was buying into what the crowd was, you know, fathoming about, and like, oh, market crash, boo, 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 boo. Guess what? That's the same exact thing going on over here. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna point out that we have. Okay, we're gonna come over here. We are going to. All right, brain fart, guys. Sorry, it is the end of the day for your boy, and I am shot. Okay, I'm definitely shot. I've been working since 8:30, and oh boy, did something happen today that this customer definitely messed up her phone, and then she was like, oh, what did you do to my phone? And everybody in the store is like, dude, we cannot change your password. We physically can't change your password. The passcode on the phone, she literally thought that me changing a SIM card could change the passcode, and she wound up getting her phone locked up all the way to 2 hours, and she thinks we did this. There's not a chance. Not a chance. There's just not. But I understand the frustration if you are not tech savvy, and that, you know, happens. If you can, you know, if you manage to do that, I understand the frustration there. So regardless, guys, all right, your boy is shot. Long day. Let's get it. All right. You had this bad boy down here this morning. What happened? All right. Guess what? You're in the same spot where you put in this March bottom over here. All right. Extreme Fear 23. I'm pretty sure we hit that this morning. All right. What happened over here? You hit Extreme Fear of 17. It's not going to show it right here, but it was intraday. It's also not going to show it over here. But if we could see October, you know, right here, this actually got all the way down here and it bottomed at 17. And then 2 days later, you had a long-term bottom. You had a major bottom. So we're going to come back over to the charts. And I am going to make a call. Yes, this is a prediction. This isn't, you know, this isn't me saying, I do believe TA supports this prediction because of what you know, obviously, you know, sentiment-wise, there's that. Let me actually pull something else up as well. AAII sentiment survey. Investor sentiment survey. Let's pull up. How are we looking over here, right? All right. So we're not, honestly, we're right in the middle, guys. So, you know, if we do end up undercutting this low, all right, if we do end up undercutting today's low, then I am going to bet that, hey, this thing's probably going to spike up to here. All right, right where this was over here. And then we're probably going to get, you know, a decent amount of squeeze. But we did point out yesterday in the live stream that the put the call ratio wasn't elevated or anything like that. It wasn't sky high. So, you know, and you're not really going to see it on here. What you really want to be checking is over here on Y charts. That's what I like to use. All right, Y charts, I got my back. I'm gonna come over here to Y charts right here, guys. So, I mean, you weren't elevated over here. You want to, if you're going to, you know, look for a short squeeze, you want to at least see it above 1, showing that more people are bearish than bullish. Like over here, right? This was back in January. All right, let's see. Do we have March? What happened right there? You got a sick, nasty short squeeze. You see how it went down there? All right, well, let's just take a look at these charts, which I do think, you know, we're probably going to get some similar action here because boom, boom. All right, boom, boom. All right, let me point out another similarity right here. Boom. Does this not look extremely similar? And do we want to see what happened after that? Boom. All right. And then does this also not look extremely similar? This was your October bottom, which is an identical setup, might I add. An identical setup. You have this bullish divergence going on here. And then what do we have over here? We have this bullish divergence going on here. So I'm just going to point out, guys, I do think, you know, my call here, my prediction, not the TA on the chart, you know, but I do think it's supported by the TA here on the chart with what I'm pointing out here. We have a major low getting put in. This is a weekly and monthly break and retest level. We were literally in this range for 2 months here, just sitting from what is this? 405 all the way up to 415, 416. That's why, you know, underneath this, let's go back to the daily time frame. All right. If you were to start losing that, that is when you're going to get back into that range. So I did think it was extremely likely that buyers were going to set up over here because you were going to put in that bullish divergence. Now, golden pocket happens to align with your break and retest off here. I think it's extremely likely that we at least make our way back up here if we're going to come down and undercut this low. But I am going to remind you guys what I have been reminding you guys here on the channel. For all of you Elliot wave people, all right, this is just, you know, market goes in cycles. You have 5 waves down. Me personally, all right, I'm not, you know, really into this whole Elliot wave thing, but, you know, I keep it in the back of my head. Okay, like, let's literally look at this. Do you guys see a pattern here? Those 5 impulsive waves. All right, then you, I mean, you could even say boom, boom, and that was that. But you get the boom, 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 boom. You have 5 waves there. Regardless, guys, we are looking for a corrective sequence to the upside, or we're going to get what we had over here. You had this impulsive sequence there, and you had an impulsive sequence as well, just for the back test. I don't care, all right? But, like, at a minimum, we are looking for a corrective sequence. So I think it could go something like this. You could reject off of here, this break and retest level of 429.88. And let me just point out where that level is coming from so you guys can mark this on your own chart. Right here, the low of this candlestick on Friday, October 13th, right there, which actually Friday, October 13th was the day you bottomed over here. But yep, Thursday, October 13th, 2022. Look at that memory, guys. Guys, I swear, working at Cellular Sales, my memory is getting good. All right, I'm memorizing people's phone numbers like hours later when I have to use them. I'm like, holy cow, I wasn't able to do that a week ago. That's crazy. All right, guys, so boom, bop, bing, boo, pow. All right, regardless, the low of this candlestick is, you can see it right up here if you're new to trading view, 429.88. That is where this level is derived from. What does that align with? That aligns with your 0.618, which is the lower bound of this golden pocket. Now, if it is going to be just a retracement, we are going to stall out in the golden pocket. A perfect example of for this, for anybody who's new to the channel, well, let's just look at how we did end up nailing the top right here. We look for a pullback. I can't say, yeah, you know, I wish I just held short throughout the whole thing and didn't start getting long in this, you know, break and retest over here on SPY and QQ. You know, that would have been the move. But guess what? Regardless, we knew to take profits into that. So, you know, it's not as bad as it could have been. There you go. All right. Regardless, all right, your boy got heavy on his prediction there, and that's why I called this a prediction. I'm not saying, you know, that's not my TA saying we're putting in a major low. If we undercut this low, that's that. If you get some, you know, guys, if you get a fat nasty gap down on Google and Microsoft earnings tomorrow, and we trade flat tomorrow, that's going to bring you underneath this low. All right, I still think the bottom is very much so not far underneath, but if you lose the bottom of this zone right here, it should be demand. It proved today to be demand, so we should be getting demand. All right, that is around 415. Yeah, just around 415. So if you lose 415, guys, I would, you know, I think you're probably going to come down here to 410ish right here. I think the low of this is 409.88. Yeah, 409.88. And then you guys, that's what I was talking about, the memory, guys. I knew that from, you know, yesterday during the live stream. And over here is 404.93. Am I right? 403.74. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. All right, regardless, guys, I am looking for a move back into this, whether it's a counter trend or not, which I don't think it's going to be. I think we're very likely going to see something like that. And we're probably going to come test up here, which also I am going to point something out. This is something someone pointed out in the Discord, I think it was last night, and I ended up looking at it today, and I do think these are something that we could start implementing into the channel. Okay, fair value gaps, guys. So someone was asking, oh, I already have it marked. I'm dumb for that one. Your boy, this is a slow thing to do. Regardless, right here, fair value gap, you got, I'm pretty positive this is exactly how to put these on the chart. All right, and we just need a, you know, guys, we need an auction. That is pretty much what these fair value gaps are. They just mean, hey, price has not really confirmed it. You haven't filled them. You haven't had a fair market auction of that area. So before we are going to move lower, I think we very likely are going to clean up at least these right here. All right. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how people end up using them. All right. I'm going to do my best to start implementing them into my analysis. Oh, look, guys, this is actually a perfect example right here. You see how, let me just put a horizontal line. Let's just get that one off right here. So this is a perfect example of right here during the session, you left behind all of that. right? You literally left behind all of that. And the next day, well, what happened? Your wick stopped right there when the market finished having its auction. So that's exactly what I'm talking about over here. All right. I think it's very likely that we at least see the market have its auction. And if it is going to want to move lower, I think we probably end up doing something like that. And if you want to see how NQ is looking over here on that, oh, holy Jesus, do I need to say any more, guys? I think I did this spot on because, you know, do you see how this wick has went today? You literally came up and filled your fair value gap. You had your market auction, but you did not fill the next one. So I do think it's likely that we come up here and we fill that. And if we are going to come lower, it's probably going to go something like this. We're probably going to rally into those earnings tomorrow. And then we're going to be, you know, having a fat nasty gap down. Or I think what's more likely is we're about to get a beat and QQQ. I mean, guys, you had buyers stepping in right where we thought so. All right, I told you guys, do not do yourself a favor. You know, you could do whatever you want with your money, but guess what? I think it's extremely unwise to take this very low risk reward setup right here and get short right as you're coming not only into your demand down here, your demand zone, demand zone or support. Told you guys tired. Yeah, and on top of that, you have trend line support right here, descending trend line support. It's just the bottom of your bull flag, guys. I don't know what anybody else wants to look at this as, all right? Maybe it does start to break down. I told you guys in the live stream, people, or maybe it was in yesterday's video, it was not yesterday's video, it was the weekly update. I pointed out that on Twitter, there was just these diamond top patterns going on. And like, yeah, guys, diamond top, why are you even including this in your analysis? You had this diamond top over here, right here, and it ended up doing some pretty sick, nasty upside right there. So I'm just pointing out, all right, that was the last diamond top, all right, that really went down. I wouldn't call this a diamond top. I don't know. Yeah, I really wouldn't. Regardless, guys, I don't think we have one of these patterns, these topping patterns going on here. I think we literally have a bottoming, you know, we have technical suggesting we have a major low being put in. But again, that's my prediction. That is what we got going on. Regardless, I don't think the low is too much further down. Watch 415 if you're going to get bearish, okay? Because above there, you're very likely just going to have buyers step in. But you did reject off the 200 in May today. That is something to take note of. Now, stepping over here to Mr. VIX, we did point out again in the weekly update in the live stream last night. Again, thank you guys for being there with me. I appreciate the crap of you guys. I had a great time last night. Hope you guys, you know, felt the same there. We were there for like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. Guess what? Bearish divergence, you had VIX crush. You broke this trend line, and then that formed this break and retest. Let's just bring out our arrow, handy dandy arrow there. Well, you have this retest. And we pointed out, because we had this, we did think that VIX was probably going to keep pumping. All right, but it's just going to, and why was it going to keep pumping? We kept closing at the high. So that is something that, you know, you want to see some sort of topping formation go down. Now, what I will point out is you flipped this today. So if you do, hey, if you take out this high end VIX tomorrow, we're going to have to see about that. You're going to want to see this divergence get burned if VIX is going to have a massive spike. But let's just remind everyone, guys, not only does VIX have a triple bearish divergence going on, which I don't think you want to be messing with, I really don't. You have that in the opposite on SPY. You have a bullish divergence, then you have a bullish divergence on QQQ as well. I really would not be betting against this setup. I wouldn't. But again, do it whatever you want. I don't want to give any financial advice on this channel that is, you know, somehow just not in this niche. But that's that. But yeah, guys, you literally spiked just like we thought was likely. Thought we were going to see, like I said, SPY over here. You were very, you know, convincing over here with these sellers. You had real selling volume. It was not a fake move. Today, you know, guys, I think market participants are just sitting on the sidelines, but this volume makes sense with this candlestick. It's an indecision candlestick. Like I said, you had this aggressive pump throughout the day, which, by the way, NVIDIA is also something we pointed out yesterday in the live stream. Shout out to anybody who took calls off of support. I looked at those today. Holy sweet baby Jesus. You had weeklies going from like 200 to like 700, 800 bucks. Crazy looking. But yeah, look at that. All right. Yes, you were buying down in fear, but guys, what happened? Again, with these bullish divergence, you now have the bullish divergence over here on it. I think this thing's about to rip. All right. I think, you know, you're going to want to, you know, get past this little supply area right here. You could probably see it better on the hourly time frame if I had to take a guess. Yeah, All right, you could very much so see it. So this is where you started. You held up over here, you broke down. All right, and this is exactly where sellers stepped in. But let me, enlighten you with this. What if we literally get boom, 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 and then that would be your neckline. Guys, I see too many of these pop up like constantly. They literally do. I forgot there were a few yesterday in the weekly watch list that we saw these on. Let's see if we could point them out real quick. What were they? Oh, you had AMD over here as well. Let's actually look at that. I think AMD did. No, it did. It did. Okay, so you did also have buyer stepping in right here. This is where we called out yesterday in yesterday's video, right, guys? Not video, live stream, where you likely are going to have buyers stepping up, and you need buyers to step up. You got to hold this low over here. You either want an equivalent low or a higher low to make this work out. Did I do that wrong? You had this mini one over here, but then you also have this massive one that we could point out right here. All right, and then you go like that. I know I drew it a little sloppy there. And then you're going to go like maybe that. And then what do we have now? They're everywhere, guys. And you can actually take this and you can make it even bigger. All right, guys, like this has been taking a very long time to form here. I know it's a little sloppy looking, but hopefully you guys could see it through all my lines here. Let's just take this out of play right there. Right, we weren't going to be paying attention to that anymore. Let's take that off. I'm just trying to declutter this chart so you can see the clear picture I just painted for us. What do we got going on? All right, you have a left shoulder, you have a head, you have a right shoulder. All right, if you spike back up to that neckline, high likelihood it breaks out. All right, but just a reminder, they don't have to always play out. We saw right here. All right, we saw that completely fail. So that is something to take note of. I was planning on that. All right, that was my prediction that was going to play out there. It did not end up happening, and you ended up falling flat on your face to where, buyers were like, we're going to step in right here at the bottom of the trend line. All right, guys, I am bullish. I'm just saying that right now. I think you have the recipe, like a very sexy recipe for a major bottom. I think the 1117 expiration, I think it will do many very well. And that is that, guys. You have a triple bearish divergence on VIX. You have a bullish divergence over here on SPY. You had the fear and greed index hitting over there on, what was it? I know it hit like 23. I think I saw intraday. I think that was what it was at this morning. But regardless, guys, this is exactly where it bottoms. All right, don't get bearish into this. Do yourself a favor. All right, start looking for long setups when you get down here. All right, we literally are just revisiting mass panic here. And if you do end up seeing that sentiment start getting better from down here, it will not be a surprise at all from the channel because, guys, bottoms are formed with pessimism. What do you also have here? Have that. All right, and then you have that. We pointed that out as well. So if you were to even come down here, probably going to hold the bottom of the zone and then put something in, it's probably going to play out there. Oh, right here, it's perfect on ES. All right, so like this isn't too bad looking at all. And on top of that, you do have this bullish divergence right here, which we were, thinking that's probably going to come. You want to recover this 200 MA, but in the grand scheme of things, guys, you're pretty much right here on the 200 MA. You don't have to exactly hold it every time. Let's just look back at some examples here. Right here, you slipped. Guess what? People probably thought, oh, we're going to die. I understand. That's $10 in SPY. I understand. That is a decent move down. All right, but it's still like, guys, it's $10 versus what happened if you just bought this. Maybe you would have had that. Yes, I get it. But then you had double that on the upside within a month. That's why I say the 1117 expiration. Maybe you can see that, but it's going to be something like this. You're not going to get the crash that a lot of people think is going to happen. We're probably not going to 400 on SPY. Probably not even going to 405. I don't know. All right. Do we have any other examples in the past? No, we do not. Over there, guys, let's just take a look. Now, these you actually did end up holding it. But right here, guys, you literally had a close underneath it on here. And then what happened? You popped up within 2 trading sessions. All right, right here, you had a close underneath it. You had a candlestick similar to the one we put up today. You popped back above it within 2 trading sessions. All right, guys, here you just held it. So there's that. All right, guys, so like we're just around the 200-day moving average. This is where long-term investors are going to be starting to average into those positions if they're smart. All right. The reason I say if they're smart is because if they're smart, they're waiting on the sidelines because they don't want to buy into all the hype and hopium. You add when you are at the 200 MA. That is your buying opportunity in a normal bull market. You guys can see what I'm talking about right here, 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 and here. All right, guys, and you're in a falling wedge pattern with the bullish divergence. I think it's very likely we get a bounce. All right, I'm not going to keep repeating the same thing. Also, this fair value gaps, you know, I think like even if we're going to go lower, we're probably going to get something like this. All right, and how big of a move would that be? From where we are right here, guys, that would be a 2% move. Or we better have a 2% day tomorrow, and then, you know, either that gets wiped out by Google and Microsoft earnings, or we get a continuation off of that for another 2% move the following day. If you get a beat, guys, I'm talking 1 to 2% on QQ is what I'm looking for on Wednesday. That is what I think. You get if it's really bad miss, guys, yeah, I think you can probably rally up here tomorrow, and then you can literally, you have a 2% down day. Something. You would come right back into the zone here, and I think you would probably get bought up again. All right, so yeah, oh, look at that. Apple literally fell right to the bottom of the golden pocket, and you had buyers step in there. Oh, who would have thought that could have been the case right here at support as well? Who would have thought? Not me. Oh, like, I joke. I kid. I kid, guys. I kid. You do want to see Tesla get back above here. I will point out that. But you were in the same place. Like, I'm just saying, guys, you don't have terrible, you know, risk reward ratios on the long side for all of these. You really do not. Amazon is just chopping it up in this range. All right. So that's not looking too bad. You didn't even undercut your low. Google's still looking strong up here. Potential higher low. If you get a fantastic gap up like the last time, you are literally going to come here and take out this high. You're probably going to consolidate right here. And then let's just see. You had a 10% move last time. I remember it. Oh, not 10% by the end of the day, right? What was that? Is that 8%? No, it was 7% at a high. I think at after hours, maybe we had more. I don't know, right? But let's just look at that. If you have a 5% move like you had over here on that gap up, what was that? That was, yeah, 5.5%. You get something like that off a beat, guys. You're going to come up here, going to go like that. You're going to consolidate here. And it could very well turn into something like that. Either a rising wedge, and then it breaks down, and like it very much can literally turn into either something like that, and you break down, all right, then it would go like boom, 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 boom. You break down, it would just be a break and retest of this level right here. And then, guys, all-time high. I don't know what to say, guys. This really, like, we don't have the most bearish looking stuff, and depending how these earnings go, we could have a sick, nasty recipe for... Oh, exactly this. This is exactly what I was talking about, right? Either you're going to flag up here, like I pointed out, or you're going to put the rising wedge, and that comes in with a back test. You find buyers stepping in anywhere from, you know, that zone, that level right there to right here. So this zone right here, and then it would be something like that. All right, that's with all honesty, guys, these are my thoughts going into these earnings. It really is. We have earnings tomorrow after the bell. Get ready. Just know, guys, just a little trade idea for you guys. QQQ. Now, premiums could have these priced in, so, you know, do your own DD. But I will be checking these. 0DT Strangle. Maybe we'll... Nah, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm pretty much all in. I don't like to, you know, say that, but people, you know, if I had comments on, they're probably just going to roast me so hard for that. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I made my final buy today. I got too many of these freaking SPY 11, 17, 440s. 14. Yeah, I think we're very likely putting that major bottom. I'm sticking with it, guys. You see it get back up to 430. All right, if you did what you had to do and you average down on the dip, I do think you're gonna be right back. At least I know if we get back to 430 this week, your boy Henry's gonna literally be at break even. And if you do some crazy shit and break out of this, hey, your boy Henry could potentially finally see some more green than he had before up here when he started buying his logs. So there's that. I'm excited, guys. I am excited, but another thing I do want to point out is I'm adding to my bull case here. I am. And that's honestly, guys, that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm added to the bull case. I'm really outlining this, hammering it home. The risk reward is on the upside because a lot of people are going to wreck themselves down here. And I know, just like a lot of people were bullish up here, all right, a lot of people are going to wreck themselves, all right, when you're down here. Up here, we were looking for the pullback on SPY, on QQQ. We all literally came right into your supply zones, your resistance levels, QQQ. All right, I think it's on the daily time frame. Boom, boom. Oh, what do you have right there? Now you got above it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right there. Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. We are so destined for downside right there. Rejection. This was the last spot before you went to all-time highs on QQ, before you went to all-time highs on SPY. Like, literally the last spot. Does DIA have a similar pattern? No. Yes. Yes, you did. What the heck, dude? Like, it's dead. So that's what I'm saying. So up here, guys, just know the crowd was completely wrong. They were all bullish, and you ended up selling massively. Guys, you could see it very clearly right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe DIA puts in a flat, and you don't end up breaking this. I don't know. All right. You guys see the picture I'm painting right here? People are very bullish up here. People are extremely bearish down here. All right, people are also extremely bearish right here. If we have another drop, extreme fear is going to come back, and then we're going to just be, we're still putting in a bottom. I'm not going to change my tune. I'm not going to do it. All right, I heavily think this whole dip right here, I think this is a buying opportunity before, before a massive rip. I do still hold that belief. I do. All right, did it turn out as sexy as we thought it could have? No. All right. But, this is still one of the bullish scenarios that we were speaking of. You're going to get buyers stepping up right here. It's going to form that bullish divergence. That bullish divergence key shows that, hey, things are shifting. Okay. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Everyone have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.